The biggest entrepreneur destination on the planet. I'm Alex Worley. This is Business Rockstars, and I have two rock stars today. We've got Jeanann Grubbs and Abby Lewis Evans, co-founders of Our One Agency. Thanks so much for stopping by, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us.
You bet. So tell me, what is Our One Agency?
So basically, we're a new media marketing agency. So we came from the world of big branding, advertising, doing a little bit of everything, and branched off about a year ago and started something that's really tailored for advertising today and now in 2017. So we do a lot of social media marketing, influencer marketing is a big part of it, content production, strategy, branding, all that good stuff.
And this is the future of marketing. And if you are an entrepreneur watching or listening and you're not incorporating this into your business yet, you probably should, right? Tell me a little bit about why this is so important, because it's the future.
Yeah, we came from, it's a lot of bigger agencies come from a world of more of the traditional form of advertising, and it's really hard for them to just completely switch gears and focus on how quickly everything's changing. And there used to be, 5 channels or 5 avenues that you would advertise on. It's like print, TV, maybe out of home, and then digital started coming in, and then social came in, and then influencer marketing came in, and just everything changed. So basically now there's millions of channels you can advertise on. So everyone is an outlet. So it's really just interesting getting brands to understand how to navigate that space and how to successfully do it, because it changes every day.
You guys have been in business for what, a year?
1 year, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So about a year ago, is that when you
hit our heads and decided this was a good idea?
Did you immediately quit your full-time jobs, or did you kind of make the transition slowly?
Cold turkey.
Okay.
Band-Aid right off.
Okay, so tell me about that. Let's go back to when you made the decision. How did you?
Our one of Our One.
Yes, Our One of Our One. Yes. When you made the decision, what were some of those first steps you took? Maybe both mentally and literally.
Right. It was terrifying.
It was. We had an opportunity to jump on, and it required us stepping out on our own, which was terrifying and exciting all at the same time. And so, sometimes you just need those things to help you feel like there's a sign and that you should take advantage of it.
So what was the sign? What was the opportunity?
There was just a big project for us to work on that we could throw our hat in the ring as an agency of our own. So,
and there was all these little moments along the way that were just like, every time I would go to bed at night and be like, this is crazy. I need to keep my job. It's super secure. My job's amazing. I love the team. I love what I do. And same with Abby. So it was like, I would wake up the next morning and something happened that would push us in that direction to do it. So it was just all these little mini signs of, just things coming together, or people coming on board to help us and say, I want to help you pitch this, and because I believe in this too. So every time someone came on board and said, I'm in too, let's do this, it was just
confirmation that it was the right thing
it was
to do
all
at the
these
right
little
time.
things that and everyone I talked to in my network, every time I was like, this is crazy, people were like, you have to do this. It was just, we had so much support and so many people, it's like pushing us over to that, knowing that we could if we just didn't question it too much. So yeah, and we didn't actually get that first project, which is funny because now looking back was a blessing in disguise. We were able to pivot and go for a lot of other types of work that we wouldn't have been able to. And so, it's like everything happens for a reason.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about their journey of making it in that first year, and also influencer marketing, because they are experts in this area. So much more with the co-founders of Our Agency. We are the biggest entrepreneur destination on the planet. This is Business Rockstars. The biggest entrepreneur destination on the planet. I'm Alex Worley. Welcome to Business Rockstars. We've got two rock stars for you today. We've got Jeanann Grubbs and Abby Lewis Evans, co-founders of Our One Agency. So we were talking about how you guys are experts in influencer marketing.
Yes.
So for those who this is brand new to them, explain what is influencer marketing, first of all.
Well, it's taking influential people within their own perspective or own respective rights and avenues and areas, and partnering with brands to kind of get a product out there and talk about a product that fits organically with what that influencer does.
So how do you determine whether or not somebody is an influencer or not?
Well, that depends on a few factors, and it's always a little bit different and takes a little bit of a different eye into it depending on what the brand wants out of it, or if it's a specific reason for looking for this influencer. So you can find an influencer based on solely numbers. Maybe if you're looking for awareness within a certain audience, you can find an influencer more based on high engagement. If you are looking to maybe push a product or promote sales of something, just knowing that they have an audience that is actually not only watching what they do, but doing what they do.
Is there something that you've learned when it comes to specifically marketing that does well versus doesn't do well?
It's a test and learn space for sure. It's optimizing constantly and not getting disappointed when something doesn't perform well, because that's valuable information that we need to know.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I tell that to brands a lot, like to make sure that it's in the test wasn't a fail if we learned something and can like go back and optimize from it.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you both help other brands build themselves, but also you have to constantly be helping build your own brand.
Yeah.
And you've been doing that for a year now.
Yeah.
So take me back to the beginning when you first started creating your brand. What kind of thought process went into it?
Great. Well, we did name our company Hour One for good reason, and that's something that we always wanted to ladder up to in our daily branding of ourselves, and also what we wanted to be able to tell brands is that you should treat your brand, your product, your outlook on how you talk to consumers as day one, hour one, all the time, and keep it fresh. Don't get stale. Don't assume. Always be relevant. Always be talking to them as if they are the most important thing. And we wanted to have that as our own. And always, if something doesn't work out, or if we learn something different and can apply it here, it's just constantly pivoting, constantly changing and transforming into and morphing with the way of the world these days.
And I know you were telling me off camera that it's not about making the quickest buck or making the most money. It's about really knowing that mission, staying true to it, staying true to the North Star. And sometimes that might even mean that you don't work with a certain brand, right?
Absolutely. We had to learn early on. I think this is a really interesting thing that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with is, are you just trying to make money right away, or are you trying to build a brand? And if you're just trying to make money right away, you're going to steer off course. It's going to take you longer to build a brand. So when we started, there was a couple opportunities. People were saying, can you white label for us? And can you work here, but we can't credit Hour One, or we can't do this and that. So we had to kind of decide, well, are we just trying to make money, in which case building the brand is going to be second, or are we really putting this is what we're doing with our company, this is what we're doing with our brand, and this is the types of work we want to work on, this is these are the types of projects we want to take on. And then that once you do that and you put more emphasis on that, the work starts coming and the money starts coming. So I think I
love it. That's a great way to look at it.
That we learned that, I think it took us a year to learn that, but we did along the way had to make that, make that realization that it was really about setting this up so that we do get the projects that we want and work on the work we need.
Sometimes it's a tough choice, but you feel it in your gut that it's the right one, or you feel it in your gut that it's a partnership for a wrong reason, or something that is steered off course, or something like that. I mean, it can be either way, but always staying true to what you started with and what you want to wake up to every morning is.
The gut thing is huge. I mean, I think we took on some work in the beginning that, looking back, why did we do that? And I knew that was not going to work out this way, and it kind of played out exactly how we expected it to. And you learn from that, and you realize, you're like, I kind of knew all along that may not have been the right thing. So that's part of the learning experience.
Exactly. nothing's a failure if you learn from it, right?
I love it. And on that note, thank you so much. Congratulations on all of your successes in your first year of business and for sharing the lessons learned. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Co-founders of Our One Agency, and we are the biggest entrepreneur destination on the planet. This is Business Rockstars.